Hello! Hello. Welcome to another video. Wow, the music's really loud in my ears. Hopefully it sounds okay to you guys. So, we're gonna do another video talking about the fourth of the 5 main characters, if that makes sense. So, this is Thomas Trent. He, among also the last 2 of these characters, are somewhat works in progress. They are still being fleshed out a bit as far as how I want them to feel and sound. But Thomas Trent is from Earth, at least a variation of Earth. I don't know. Don't want to say anything else. But here's a little bit of a description for some of my notes. So, Thomas Trent was an energetic young man, perhaps maybe a little ADHD, that had many interests. He also loved music. He was a bit of a band geek as well, which kind of embarrassed him. Didn't really like people knowing that he played in the band in high school. And he's also a nerd in a lot of ways. He loves anime, he loves other things, which is even more embarrassing to him. He has a very inward belief in the things that he likes to do, doesn't really like other people knowing, if that makes sense. So some other things about him is he is tall, he has brown hair, not too dark but not too light, it's kind of somewhere in the middle, and his eyes are green. They're almost hazel, but more green than hazel with the brown. So now, something interesting about Thomas Trent is he does not realize just how good he has it. And that unfortunately comes crashing down on him. Now, a little bit of backstory on Soul Splinters. It's the main magic system that runs that series he will be present in. Soul Splinters are created in extreme trauma, where essentially a part of your soul is splintered off and becomes a separate entity that is attached to you. And generally they attach to an object that then fuels and powers magic and stuff like that. That then you kind of work together to do that. And over time, you can start to reincorporate the splinter back into yourself while still obtaining and using the object for magical purposes. However, the knowledge of what created the splinter is lost to you. That part of your memory kind of gets zapped away into the splinter. Usually the splinter can and does communicate with you as well. Kind of having your personal AI, sort of. So, he has an incredibly traumatic experience, which the reader will not know. The reader will know what he knows, and he doesn't know what happened to him. As part of the story goes, I don't want to get into too much detail, but let's just say that I sure hope it's moving to the point where people ache with him when they learn what he learns about how his splinter was actually created. And it may or may not involve some personal pain. I can't explain anymore. But I think it'll be a pretty interesting. The thing about this series, I think it's going to be pretty therapeutic and what's the word I'm thinking of? Cathartic. I'm an English major. Cathartic. I know words. But Thomas Trent is, I'm thinking, going to be among the more powerful of the characters. So, context, the Soul Splinter, or the aspect of the soul, is the most powerful forms of magic in my universe. But it's also way varied and very unique. Every splinter is essentially unique in its capacity. Some will have different categories of the type of splinters and how strong they are, but they're all going to have their own thing that is very much tied to the personality and the capacity of the original person before they splintered their soul. Most of the time, this is not intentional. Little sneak peek there, maybe. So, but Thomas Trent, let's just say he gets a little depressed before everything goes crazy. well, not a little. He gets very depressed because in his mind, something feels wrong, even though he has all of these things. And kind of, let's just say, his story is a lot like It's a Wonderful Life. That's all I'm going to say. So, I think that's all I want to talk about with Thomas Trent right now. But, just a little bit of backstory. He does have, so some of the root of how he feels does come down with his relationship with his parents. Thomas Trent didn't really have a good relationship with his parents. His dad worked a lot and was not present and was pretty verbally abusive to his wife, which that obviously is going to rub out onto Thomas. And I haven't decided if he has siblings yet. Likely will be a single child, which would make most sense being fueled into this trauma that creates the splinter. So, yeah, I really, really like how everything worked out for the aspect of the soul and the magic system and everything. I got some really interesting ideas. Bit of context as well. This story is post-apocalyptic, but you get to see it all go down. So that's one of my favorite types of stories. Seeing big apocalypse, the world's ending. Oh, I love, like, you know, the big natural disaster kind of movies and stuff. This is kind of that, but it is very much intentional. So anyway, if you guys like Thomas Trent, keep an eye out for the 5th and final of the main characters of my universe. Well, the 6th is later, but he's very unique. But anyway, the next character, take a look for the next video coming out hopefully soon. I'll be recording some details about him. That is from another planet, the aspect of the heart. So stay tuned for that. Look, hopefully next couple days. Thank you guys so much. I've already been seeing a lot of engagement. Like, subscribe, and comment if you guys are really enjoying this and you want to see more. So take care. Have a good day. Don't forget, there are no bad ideas, just unfinished ones. Take care.